So you've started guest blogging and you've even started pitching for guest blog posts, but you are hearing nothing back. You're hearing crickets. And it's not surprising because it happens to a lot of us. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why, how to fix it, and what to avoid, because that conversation has to be had. Hey, hi, hello, I am Michaela. I am an SEO expert and blog content writer. And today we're gonna talk about everything related to pitching a guest blog post. And if you just don't want to listen to a video or you want to make it easy, I do have guest blog email templates down in the description below. You get 5 templates. They're all catered to different situations, as well as the type and amount of work that you have to put in to personalize it for your pitch. Obviously, I recommend personalizing pretty well, but I'll leave that option up to you. And that again is in the description below. But moving on. So the first thing we're going to cover is what is a bad pitch. And the reason we're going to start with that is because I see these daily. They are terrible. And when I mean terrible, I mean absolutely awful. Can you tell I'm a little passionate about it? But anyway, so we're going to start with this first one. And the thing that I dislike the most about this one is that it doesn't even try. It just says, "Hi, great day. Let me introduce myself. You can call me Raymond. I am an outreach manager at xtool.com. I am writing to you because I'd love to contribute a guest post or sponsored post on your blog. My team will make sure the piece is unique, high quality, and SEO friendly." Okay, and I believe your readers would get a ton of value from our collaboration. Okay, who are my readers? Do you know? You probably don't. And then he sends me samples of previously published posts. Okay, that's not the worst. I look forward to hearing back to you. Cheers, Ramon. Downside of this, did not address me personally. This is obviously copy and pasted to everyone. And I'm not surprised because this looks like an SEO agency, but still, learn from their mistakes. Don't do this. Number 2. So this is a pitch that I got recently, and I'm still not down for it. Again, they lack personalization. Don't mention my name. Don't mention my website. They just go, "Hello. I hope this message finds you well. I am reaching out to inquire if it would be possible to share some intriguing ideas for an article, guest post, and could potentially be featured on your esteemed website." Well, what's my website? Do you know? Should my proposed concepts align with your interest, I am prepared to offer a high-quality, complimentary piece of content article. Again, what? In return, I kindly request the consideration of a favor, a backlink incorporated within the main body of the article. He's here for a backlink. He's getting paid to do this. And I'm calling him a he because it's a star and I don't know. Please inform me of your receptiveness to the prospect of exploring these captivating topic ideas. Honestly, it sounds like he put it into ChatGPT, asked it for a generic template, said, "Hey, I want to pitch some guest post. Send me a template. I'm going to send it out." And that's exactly what he did. He copy pasted and sent it out to people, and I was just one of those people. Things that you do not want to do. This is very formal language, so unless it aligns with your brand, there's no need to do this. You want to keep it personal. You want to make sure it relates to you, not to whatever this ChatGPT spam nonsense is. And here's the secret. You can use Claude or ChatGPT to help you with these pitches. There's no problem with that. The problem is, that's all they did. They did not give it any additional information. They did not say, "Hey, this is what I want to publish about." I don't even know what their business is. I don't know anything about them. I just know that they want to publish on my site for a backlink. They could be a gambling site. They could be a random business. You have to assume that the person that you are pitching to may not know you unless you personally know them. And this is like an idea exchange between besties. All right, I promise this is the last one, and then we'll move on to the rest of it. All right, so he did a little bit better. He said, "Hi there, this is Brian from MMP Associates again." Now, they've emailed me multiple times. "I just wanted to follow up on my last email about publishing a guest post on your site. I'd totally understand if you're not interested in that and would prefer to maintain control of your website standards by writing content in-house. Could you please let me know anyways?" Also, I did let him know. I told him I was not interested, and I have 7 follow-up emails from him. Again, do not do that. If I was ever considering a guest post in the future, say I wanted to take a break from creating content in the summer, or when we get to the holidays and I want to take a break from my blog, I might actually be looking for people to guest post on my blog. The problem is, he has essentially disqualified himself because he's followed up with me 7 times in the course of like 2 months. Like, I'm getting an email from this man weekly. He has gone into the spam folder now, but just to let you know that this has happened. But aside from the guest post, we are also interested in contextual link placements in existing articles. Don't do that. And the reason I say don't do that, unless it's actually a relevant thing, is because it can actually hurt you, because you have no control over what that landing page is. So if it is obtained in a sketchy or unsure way, like this, like we don't know much about this person or what type of link that they want to place in our content, They can change it without us knowing. They can redirect it to whatever they want to. They can change what's on that page, and it can actually be harmful content. It could be anything in the world, and you have no control of it. You could remove the link, but how likely are you to think back to a post in maybe a year or 3 months to say, hey, I put this link back here. Let me make sure it goes where it's supposed to go. Probably not. We have a lot going on. It's not top of mind. All right, I will move on from what not to do. Use these as references because I promise these are terrible examples. And let's move on to what you should do. Okay, so what makes pitches work? And part of this process is actually going to be finding the right websites to pitch to. If you are pitching to the wrong website in general, and maybe their audience doesn't align, or they don't actually see value in what you're doing, or it doesn't relate to who they're serving, it's not going to be a good pitch. And you kind of have to make that determination when you're doing your research. For example, if I'm doing some research, I want to find someone who speaks to my ideal client and who maybe doesn't serve my ideal client in the same way I serve them, even if there is a little bit of overlap. So I love to use this example of my first go-to would probably be in Show It Web Designer, because I do a lot of SEO on Show It websites. So my first thing would likely be to go find a Show It Web Designer who does not offer SEO services in-house, and try and write a blog post for them. And the first thing I would do is say, hey, I noticed that there's a gap. Well, after introducing myself, say, hey, I noticed that there's a gap and we serve the same people and I am experienced in what you do. And I think this would provide a lot of value for your people, not just for me, provide a lot of value for them. Can we do some sort of collaboration where I write a guest post for your audience? That's going to be received so much better than a random thing. But also, if I tried to send that same email to, say, an email writer, say, hey, I think your people might be interested in SEO, there's more of a gap there, because email copywriters don't necessarily have anything to do with SEO, at least not for the emails, because emails are on a different platform. Now, I could maybe get away with a podcasting coach, because a podcasting coach or a podcasting manager, they likely want to turn their podcast up, help their clients turn their podcasting episodes into blog post. And blog post is SEO optimized blog posts are my bread and butter. That is what I'm known for doing. So me saying, hey, I would love to write an article teaching your audience how to turn their episodes into SEO optimized blog posts, that's valuable. That's valuable to them. That's valuable to me. Everybody benefits, and they get like a really good piece of content on their website. So the words that I'm not going to use are high quality. I probably won't say benefit. I'll say that it works really well, or something else, because benefit is a little bit more formal. I would say I'm really feel goody about stuff instead of like, this is benefit, this is great for your audience, all that kinds of things. But you want to make sure it's helping their audience. That's the sum of it all. And then you'd want to include a few topic ideas. So when I'm approaching this website, whatever it may be, I want to make sure that the ideas that I am providing are actually related to what they do. Even better if you can find a way to tie it into content that they've already done. So ideally this person already has a blog, or should have a blog if you're going to be guest blogging. So you should look at the previous content ideas that they have and look at some gaps. Find the opportunity to fill that for them and tie it into stuff that they already have, so it's not only benefiting their audience, it is benefiting them directly. It's a win-win for all. Also, don't send these people like 3 pages worth of emails. They're not going to, especially if they've never met you. Now, if you're messaging your business bestie and you're like, hey, I want to do a guest post, you can make it as long as you want. Heck, I could probably send mine a 9-minute voice note about how I want a guest post on their website, and they listen to 3 minutes and be like, sure, whatever. And then who knows if that 6 minutes goes unread, but they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. But the normal person would probably not want a 9-minute voice note, nor would they want a 3-page email. So you want to keep it kind of like short, a little bit scannable, something that you can read in max 3 to 5 minutes. 5 minutes is kind of pushing it, but you want it to be something they can consume pretty quickly, because they're likely just checking their emails in the morning. You just also have to be careful, because they're aware that you're going to email them. You're like a surprise in their inbox, unless they're asking for guest post. That's a different situation. You should still use a similar template, but make sure that you're following whatever they are requesting of you. And that's one of those things I take into consideration with those guest blog email templates that are down in the description. They do cover those different situations. Ones that are, you have emails for when a website is asking for guest post, but does not have a place for you to submit them, so you have to send them an email. And then ones for people who are not actively seeking guest blog posts, but have not put on their website that they do not want guest posts. If they say they do not want you to pitch them a guest blog post, do not pitch them. Respect what they are saying. Thank you. Anyway, so I did want to give you a little sneak peek into the template that I use for a lot of my pitches, and I do include a variation of this and a little bit of a breakdown of this in the email templates that you can snag. So first, let's look at this little sample. All right, so this is my guest post pitch templates. So this is a little sneak peek. If you want to unlock the full version, you got to buy it. But this is the personal approach. So we have different subject lines, and then we have the actual email. And finally, we have my example. I'm not going to freeze on there. You need to grab it, okay? All right, so the example, I use SEO tips for your design clients, a collab idea. I'm talking to Kelly, who is a Show It website designer, and just saying, I'm Michaela from the Common Mama Co., an SEO strategist and blog content writer for service providers who want to show up on Google without being glued to social media. A big thing for me is social media optional, so I'm trying to add that into the guest post pitch. I was reaching out to see if you might be interested in collaborating. Remember, this is a collaboration because it does require a little bit of work on both parts. Now, I have some great tips to share specifically for your design clients about optimizing their new Show It sites for SEO. I'm thinking something like 5 SEO must-dos before your website goes live, or how to set up your Show It site for Google success from day one. 2 things. Brings in her Show It sites. Also brings in SEO, which is what I'm an expert in. So I was thinking this collaboration could be in the form of a guest post for your blog, but I'm totally open to other formats because I am. You don't have to be. You can take out that portion. It has different variations that you can choose from, and maybe a joint Instagram Live, a newsletter feature, or even a collaborative freebie that you could offer to your clients during the design process. I'd be happy to share a few quick SEO tips right here in this email if you're interested, or I could send over a more detailed outline. You can also take that away or leave it in. Let me know if this sounds interesting. I think your clients would love having that SEO foundation in place when their beautiful websites launch. So in this situation, you do want to be a slightly bit flattering. You want to make sure you're complimenting something. If you don't add it in the meat of your email, you can add it at the bottom in a little PS, by the way, I loved your rebrand, or PS, by the way, I looked at your most recent project, and just say specifically what that most recent project is. Make sure you are showing that you are actually putting in this effort. Even better if you can personalize it to your voice, make it sound like you, make it sound fun. And if your brand is very direct, be very direct. And if your brand is a little bit more formal, be formal. You want to make sure it sounds like you. And that's what I'm saying. You can put these into ChatGPT or Claude if you have it trained for your voice, and upload these templates, have it give you some variations, tell it about a bit about the person that you were trying to pitch to, ask for even some content ideas. Just do not let it write your blog post. Do not submit a blog post. And I'm going to tell you right here, do not submit a blog post written by ChatGPT or Claude. Don't do it. They don't want it. And it is not good for SEO. You can use it for your pitches. Do not use it for your writing. And even if you're using it for your pitches, make sure you're doing some editing and make sure that you are adding in personal details that you do want mentioned. Because if they are inaccurate, the person will know. They will know. And that takes away the entire purpose of being personal. All right, anyway, so that's all the things that you need to know about pitching a guest blog post. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments down below. That's what I'm here for. Use my brain. And yeah, grab those guest post pitch templates if you just want to make it easier too. That's it for today. Don't forget to check out the rest of my guest blogging series. Or if you're at the end of the series and watching it, thank you for being here. And thank you for being here anyways, honestly. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And that's all for now. Bye.